YouTube? What's going on? It's Juan Gotti here. We another Washington Commanders video, and in today's video, I'm coming on here with a huge Ron Rivera press conference recap. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. Before we do, make sure you go down below, leave a like on this video, subscribe if you're new, and turn on post notifications so you get notified when I upload a video about the NFL, or in this case, our Washington Commanders. We're on the road to 6,000 subscribers, so please hit that subscribe button again if you haven't already. Thank you so much. Let's get straight into today's video. So Ron Rivera is at the league meetings, obviously, alongside Martin Mayhew, and he had a huge press conference today. He talked about a lot of things in regards to possibly drafting a quarterback round one, Chase Young's fifth-year option, a battle at left guard between Sadiq Charles and Chris Paul, and Chase Roulier reconstruction, a whole bunch of things that he talked about today. So we're going to cover that. So let's go ahead and kick it off with let's talk about the owner news. So more owner news has came out as earlier today. I covered that the Washington Commanders potential new owner could have been Josh Harrison, as he placed a $6 million bid today. So did the Canadian owner that I made a video on about a couple of days ago, to almost maybe a couple of weeks ago. Steve A, as you guys know, I don't know how to pronounce his name, and I'm not going to try to pronounce his name. He also submitted a $6 billion bid, fully funded $6 billion bid offer to the Washington Commanders as well. So that's another entry into the Commanders sweepstakes, and he's actually another guy that is confirmed submitted the bid. So right now, two people are confirmed submitted bids to the Commanders. So we'll wait and see who gets the team. Now let's go ahead and get into Ron Rivera's press conference right now. The first thing that he said today, he said Ron Rivera's at the podium now. He thinks the team will have a good quarterback room with Sam Howell and Jacoby Brissett. He likes Brissett quick twitchness, and believes the two quarterbacks will push each other. Don't really have too much to say about that right there. As you guys know, Sam Howell's QB1. I don't want anything to do with Jacoby Brissett. As you guys know, I wasn't the biggest fan of him physically, because as we know, Washington is a team that at some point their backup quarterback is going to play, and I don't think Jacoby Brissett gives us a chance to actually compete and win. Taylor Heinicke did. Ron Rivera said there was at a point late last season where things started to click for Sam Howell, and he took more reps as the number two behind Taylor Heinicke. Rivera said he noticed Howell started to quickly pick up things and corrected his mistakes from earlier. So that's good. And Martin Mayhew said the same thing. He said y'all only saw him week 17 versus Dallas, or week 18. Yeah, week 18 versus Dallas. But we've been seeing him prepare all season long. We've been seeing him practice every day. So we knew Sam Howell was ready for the moment. Ron Rivera said left guard will be a competition between Sadiq Charles and Chris Paul. So that's a huge note, because you guys know my early projected offensive line was Chase Roulier, Nick Gates. It featured Nick Gates and Sam Cosmi at right guard, and it was both Charles Leno and Andrew Wiley as our right tackle. So it's interesting to see. Now I'm starting to think that they may move on from Chase Roulier, because Nick Gates, you bought him and you pay him, so he's going to be your center, and your left guard battle is going to be between Chris Paul and Sadiq Charles. So that take care of your left side. And then obviously your right side is going to feature Sam Cosmi and Andrew Wiley. So man, that's huge, because a lot of people were talking about Chris Paul being a potential starter. Everybody was talking about how good he was in that last game versus Dallas. My biggest thing is I'm happy for Chris Paul, and I'm interested in Chris Paul, but this is the final straw for Sadiq Charles, in my opinion. As you guys know, I had high hopes for Sadiq Charles, man, and he rarely plays, but he's always hurt. So this is the final straw. This is his chance to prove, to see what he can do. I want, honestly, Chris Paul to get that spot, because I feel like it's a lot there with him. But Sadiq Charles also is young too, man. So I just want a good competition, man, honestly. And that's interesting, because I was thinking my offensive line was totally different. It didn't even feature Chris Paul or Sadiq Charles starting. So that's interesting news right there from Ron Rivera. Rivera says he feels comfortable with the offensive line. We went out and made some corrections and a considered effort to add depth to this group. They signed Andrew Wiley and Nick Gates earlier this month, as we know. No announcement yet on Washington O-line coach vacancy. Rivera says they have a guy on the staff they feel comfortable with. Doesn't name him, but clearly is Trevelyan Wharton, who has been the offensive line assistant coach. Commanders coach Ron Rivera discussed his quarterback situation and says he believes Sam Howell has many of the same qualities of Brock Purdy. As for adding a high money quarterback, Lamar Jackson, he says they never looked into it. I know he's a tremendous talent, but it wasn't for them. Now, as you guys know, I already told you guys yesterday, we don't have the team that's interested in this guy. We don't have the brain to act, the brain and the operation behind of, oh, let me go look for a guy like Lamar Jackson. You guys know, at least if I was in charge, I would have did my due diligence. I would at least called Baltimore to see what they willing to give up. Lamar Jackson is a tremendous talent. I understand we want to roll with Sam Howell, but at least try. That's my biggest thing is we don't have to be fully interested. We don't have to actually go get him, but it doesn't hurt to at least try. You can't get knocked for an effort. That's what I wanted to see. But this is no surprise. I already told you guys we weren't interested in him. We're rolling with Sam Howell. So it says, have you guys ruled out using a first round pick on a quarterback? This question was posed by Nikki Giovanni. Ron Rivera said no. We have to look at every avenue. Do you expect Sam Howell and Jacoby Brissett to be your top two quarterbacks going into camp? Martin Mayhew says, yeah, so obviously we're sitting at 16. We're not drafting no quarterback. We're not looking into, I don't want to say we're not looking into no quarterbacks, but I firmly believe we're not looking into no quarterbacks because they're just saying that because they want to keep teams on their toes. They want to keep all avenues open to say that they did their homework. But in my humble opinion, I feel like they're rolling with Sam Howell and they're not really looking for no quarterbacks in the first round. Maybe in the later rounds they could add a young guy, but the first round, really, we're 16. What are we gonna do there? CJ Stroud is going to be gone. Bryce Young's going to be gone. Anthony Richardson's going to be gone. Will Levis is going to be gone. I mean, if you're saying Hendon Hooker, maybe in like the second or third round, okay. But first round quarterback, we're not looking for no first round quarterback, man. Rivera on Chase Young. This is another huge one. It says Rivera on Chase Young's fifth-year option says they are still processing that decision, but mentions a new ownership could be a factor. I think they're going to pick up Chase Young's fifth-year option. They would be a fool to do that. So I think under new ownership, they would do that. Right now, obviously, with the sale of Dan Snyder going on and him not having the funds to do that, they're not going to announce that right now. But I would be dumbfounded if they didn't pick up his fifth-year option, if I'm being real. Rivera says if a new owner wants to look at different quarterbacks, then they will. Also says new owner could impact Chase Young's fifth-year option. It was a very and we already said that. So this is what I'm saying. If Mike Harris or the Canadian billionaire come in and be like, yeah, I know you want Sam Howell, but hey, I want Lamar Jackson. Ron Rivera's like, hey, there's nothing I can do about that. I got to go grant him his wish. So it's not Lamar Jackson's not coming here, but you never know if the new owner comes in and wants to make immediate changes. You never know. Rivera is asked whether they can keep all four of their D lines on new contracts. Long pause. And then he says yes and no. It just depends what those contracts are. We're not keeping all four defensive linemen. I mean, if that long pause didn't tell you enough, you already knew. Like money-wise, we're not going to be able to keep all four of these guys. Chase Young's going to want new money if he goes out and ball. Montez Sweat's on his last year of his deal, so he's going to want new money regardless of the fact. So we have to pick either one of these guys. If it's me, I'm picking Chase Young because we invested the second round pick into this guy, and he has the better upside than a Montez Sweat. Montez Sweat, I love him, man. No, I don't hate Montez Sweat. I love Montez Sweat, bro. He's a freak. Okay, you can't find too many guys like Montez Sweat. He's gonna go somewhere and get paid if it's not here. Okay. But you got to understand it's a business and you got to pick one guy. And if it's up to me, since we invested the second round pick or second overall pick, not round, second overall pick in Chase Young, and he has the better upside, his ceiling is more higher than a Montez Sweat, you got to go with Chase Young, in my opinion. Bieniemy has been calling 7 a.m. meetings for the offensive coaches. They're really grinding away right now. So that's good to hear. Okay, they're getting up early and getting after it. 7 a.m. meetings, that's cool to hear. Rivera emphasized that Sam Howell only enters as QB1, but that he has to come through and earn it. If Jacoby Brissett's earn it, I'll play Jacoby. That's not what I wanted to hear. That's not what I want to hear. But obviously, they're gonna make it seem like it's a competition, but it's not a competition. And if it really genuinely is a competition between Sam Howell and Jacoby Brissett, I'm going to be pissed, bro, because there's no way I'm supposed to get excited about seeing Jacoby Brissett as my starting quarterback September 11th or September 9th, whenever the season starts. I'm telling you, not happy about that if that's the case. As far as running back, Rivera said they want to add someone else. Could be a free agent or the draft. Brian Robinson will still be on the top guy. Gibson can handle the McKissick role. He did so last year, but still want to add another running back. Okay, so that's interesting. If Antonio Gibson is going to be taking over the J.D. McKissick role, then that must mean they want another like kind of bell cow in a way, a kind of guy that's like similar to Brian Robinson. Because I was thinking, you got B-Rob, you got AG. Why not go ahead and get JD? Go ahead and get a JD McKissick replacement and Jerick McKinnon, a guy that knows the system, that's been with Eric Bieniemy, a Super Bowl champion. He's kind of like a JD McKissick. But if he's saying Gibson is going to be the new JD McKissick, then you have to think they want another guy like Brian Robinson. So that's interesting. Maybe Jonathan Williams is that guy. You know, I love Jared Patterson, but you know they're not going to play my guy. He deserves it, but they're not going to play him because of his size. So they're going to probably go out there and look for another maybe 6'2" back, a big back like B-Rob. If since he said Antonio Gibson is the new J.D. McKissick replacement. When asked about left guard, Rivera singled out Sadiq Charles and Chris Paul as the competitors for the job. Andrew Norwell is still on the roster, and Rivera said they're still doing some evaluations of the position. Draft likely will impact future moves. So, and yeah, a lot of us forgot Andrew Norwell is still on this roster. I just feel like a lot of us figured that they were just going to cut him, which I think they probably still are going to, because there's a lot of stuff at that guard position now. But I would not be surprised if we went to camp with Andrew Norwell on his roster. Then I believe that's the end of the press conference. Quick, it's a lot more detail, but that's just all the notes that the beat reporters had, and I want to bring that to you guys. So it's a lot, man. It's a lot going on. Rivera said a lot. And the biggest things that I want to take away from his press conference, the Chase Young news, of them talking about the 5th-year option. Long pause when asked, can he re-sign all 4 D linemen? And then the quarterback competition, quote unquote, with Jacoby Brissett and Sam Howell. And then last but not least, but the left guard position. That's the one that I'm probably most excited about between Chris Paul and Sadiq Charles, man. So there you have it. Let me know what you guys think about this video in the comment section down below. What is the biggest note that you took away from Ron Rivera's press conference? Let me know what you guys think down below. As always, me and boy Juangotti. Like, comment, subscribe. Hail to the Washington Commanders. We're on the road to 6,000 subscribers, so please hit that subscribe button again if you haven't already. See you guys next time. I'm out. Peace. Cost me one time, that's gonna get you pop, get you poppin', get you droppin', slide on the one where they get you.